Hey everyone. So I wanted to pop on really quickly today. And if this is your first time here, I know there's a lot of new people in the group. I'd love for you to just comment and let me know that you're new here. And if you're not used to my live streams, I definitely keep them short and sweet. That's just my way of doing it. I like to keep them around like 12 to 15 minutes because I just want to come in, give you the goods, and then you can go off and implement or do whatever you feel inspired to once you watch this. So, you typically won't see like a 45-minute or an hour-long live stream from me just because that's not my style. So I like to come on here and give you guys some really fresh, cool tips, and I want to see you implement them. So if you're watching the replay, just comment below with replay so I know you're here as well. And I see a couple people popped on, so hello. I'm just going to dive right into it. And this conversation actually came up in one of my paid groups, Mindset Mavens, which is my mindset mentorship. Awesome group. I absolutely love it. So this came up in our conversation, and I was like, man, I really should do a live stream about this because I think there's so much conflicting information and people see things as things that they really aren't. So I wanted to kind of explain a little bit, like, what is the difference between launching, evergreening, or automating your products, and just being open for business. So one of the things that I love to do is like use real world examples, because a lot of times, especially with this online world, like, we get confused, or we think it's like something completely different than like being online. Like for example, the reason why this even came up was because we started talking about selling all the time, like selling every day, and how, every other company out there is literally selling every day. Like every company, every $1 million, $1 billion company, they're selling every day. They're not taking breaks. They're not feeling bad about it. And for some reason in this online space, in this coaching world, in the service-based industry, we are made to feel guilty for selling every day or selling all the time, which is BS. So I kind of wanted to just explain like the different processes, and also like which ones I feel like you need to have in place in your business in order to have something that's sustainable, have income that's just like always coming in, versus this feast and famine, or being on this roller coaster of income and maybe one month having a really great month and then the next month it not being so good. So hey Kim, hey Amy, I see you guys on. Hey Erica, Erica's open for business. Awesome, can't wait to start working with you, Erica. All right, guys, so here's the deal. When, let me give you a little bit of background, a little bit of context. So people ask me all the time, like, Jen, you're always launching. Like, you're always launching a new program. You're always putting something out there. And that is part true and it's part false. So I am not always launching. So there are times when I am launching a new product, and I've put a lot of time and energy into the planning of the launch. I'm investing ads into the launch. I, typically have a build up to the launch where I'm doing either like a video series or a challenge or a webinar or something like that. And you see that all the time in this industry. Like people, create a lot of content. There's this build up and then they launch something at the end. So there are times where I do that. Like maybe it's like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 times a year when I actually do a launch, something that is like literally planned out, invested in team, invested in advertising, have the whole kind of build up phase. So that is launching. I actually just recently did a launch of a program. I had a big challenge that a lot of you were a part of. That's a launch, right? Like that is something that's like just totally planned out. It's like, it's going to be this big thing, right? And usually that comes with big goals. Now, the problem with launching is that people who launch typically don't sell anything in between the launches. So they might get this big influx of income for that month, but then they kind of have to figure out like, okay, now this needs to last until my next launch, which might be 3 months from now, 6 months from now. And so that model by itself, it definitely puts you in the feast or famine, because you're going to get this big chunk of money and then you're like, okay, now what, right? Now how am I going to make money this month or the next month if you get into this like always launching thing? Automating, evergreening. So a lot of people talk about this as well. Basically, you have a product or service that is always, for sale. There's no specific like cart open or cart close. You're consistently making money from that offer. A lot of times that's something that's like a DIY course or a group course or something that where you're just constantly enrolling, but you have automated systems in place to make that happen. So you might be running Facebook ads, you have funnels in place, and that thing is kind of working for you in the background. Like you're just consistently enrolling people in that thing. It's available all the time. It's available year long. So that is a really good model because again, that will stop the feast and famine because you're consistently bringing new customers in, you're consistently marketing this program, and people are consistently buying it. However, for me, something like that really stunts my creativity. So as somebody who's really creative and likes to write and likes to create things and likes to come up with new ideas, that's kind of boring, right? Like it's just kind of boring to have something working in the background and it's just like, okay, well, what are you doing, right? So that's launching. I just talked about automating. And now I want to talk about just being open for business, which I believe that we all need to be doing all the time. Like just need to be open for business. We need to be selling every day. We need to be putting our stuff out there all the time. And if you choose, it could be a signature program that you're just consistently telling people about and putting out into the world and offering to people in different ways. Or it could be like I do, where I have multiple different offers for multiple different people at multiple different price points. The reason why is because my audience is made up of people who are at different points in their journey, people who can invest at different levels, people who need different things at different times. And one of my favorite things to describe about why or how I create so many offers is because different strokes for different folks, right? So someone might want a DIY course, somebody might want group coaching, somebody might want one-on-one, somebody might just want, like inbox strategy, something like that. So I like to create different things because I have audience that is at different places in their business. So for me, when I'm putting out something, like right now, I'm putting out a new program. Well, I'm announcing it tomorrow. But if you want details on it today, then you can send me a private message and I'll send you the details before everybody else. However, that's not a launch for me. Like, I don't consider that a launch. I consider that I'm open for business and I have something to offer for people who need it. And the right people are going to be attracted to that offer. The right people who, feel that this is the right thing for them at the right time for them are going to say yes to this. And I know that that's the way it is. So you have to keep your doors open for business all the time, meaning you have to be selling every day. And if you have some sort of whole hang up around selling every day, you definitely got to work on that, right? Like that's a mindset thing of not wanting to sell every day, or selling every day means you're sleazy, or selling every day means something, right? Whatever meaning we've given to it. So the ones that you actually need in your business, honestly, I feel like it's all three. So I'm actually going to hop over to the other page here because it looks like the comments stopped coming through. And I know that I'm sure that you guys are commenting, but I can't see them. So I'm going to hop on over really quickly and check those out just to make sure Facebook is working properly, because sometimes Facebook doesn't like me. And it doesn't give me the comments and all of that stuff that people are sending. So which one do you need for your business? Should you be launching? Should you be putting an evergreen program into place? Or should you just be open for business all the time? I say you need all three. Because when you have all three, then you can create something that is sustainable. You can create something where you're consistently bringing money in. So your automated thing is just like, boom, that's already done. It's working in the background. It's bringing money in. I would actually suggest that whatever your automated program is, that covers your monthly business expenses. And then everything else is just cake, right? It's just the icing on the cake, I should say. Launching. I think launching is really great for an influx of cash, also for high visibility. So if you're like just starting your brand, you really want to get known, you want to be put out there as an influencer or thought leader, then you do probably want to launch because you want to come out there in a big way. You want to share your products with a lot of people in a short amount of time. You want to be seen. You want people to literally be like, man, that person's everywhere, right? So I think that there is a purpose to launching, but launching by itself and only having launches a couple times a year is just going to keep you on this roller coaster. And then being open for business, like always. Always you should be open for business. Always you should have something that you're selling. And I honestly believe that you need to be selling every day, whether it's a blatant promotion of like, hey, I have this thing, come buy it. Or you're doing maybe some personal outreach. You're reaching out to people who have messaged you in the past. You're reaching out to people you're connected with. You're asking for referrals. Maybe you're selling yourself. Maybe you're not even selling a product or service, but you're selling yourself. Maybe you're pitching yourself to, some sort of media. Maybe you're doing an interview. That's all considered selling as well. So I really think that you guys need all three, but if I had to choose one, it would just be that you're open for business all the time and that you're creating offers that people want. Rather than just trying to stick to one thing and, that thing not working, right? So once you do all this, then, right, once you find out what works, once you know what's working for you, then you can go all in on that one thing. But in the beginning and even in the middle and even where I'm at in my business, I still like to create new things. I still like to test things out. I still like to make multiple offers to my audience because that's just what I like to do, right? And my people love it. So that's why I have people that are, repeat buyers. And that's the other thing. If you only have one thing for people to buy, you're not going to have repeat buyers. You're going to have a person who can buy from you once. And we all know, and we've all heard, and I don't know what the statistics are because I don't have my internet up here, but we all know that it is a lot cheaper to maintain a current client or customer than it is to go out there and get a new one and to go out there and get cold traffic. So for me, most of my buyers always buy from me more than once. They're buying 2, 3, 4, 5 different products from me because I keep offering new and exciting things for them. So think about that as well. If you only have one thing for people to sell and they don't want it, they're not going to buy from you. So I said that I would give you guys a real world example here. Hey, Kim. And so I want to give you that. So what I talked about on the call today was imagine a handbag store, right? So I named Michael Kors because I like Michael Kors. And they're always open for business, right? You can go into any shopping plaza or any mall or even online and they're always open for business. They always have a selection of handbags that you can buy, right? So every once in a while, they might come out with a new one, right? Maybe every month, maybe it's every season, really depending on what it is. And that's kind of their launch, right? So they have a launch of maybe a new hot collection, right? The spring collection or the fall collection is coming out. But also in the meantime, they're still creating and having and selling new products. So if I go into the store today, I might not like anything, right? But if I go into the store a month from now, they may have just released something, a new bag, a new style, a new color, something where I'm I have to have that, right? So that's what I kind of want you to think about your business is being always open for business, always having something that people can buy, and also having a variety of things that people can buy, a variety in not only the price point, but the length of time and also the access to you is also another thing to consider when you're thinking about offers and things that you're putting out there. So that is the difference between launching, evergreening, and open for business. I think you need all three, but if you're going to go for just one right now, I would say open for business all the time, selling every day. So Facebook is being funny with me. So I don't know if you guys are putting comments because it just doesn't like to show me comments on this thing. So if you are, I will for sure make a comment or, reply to your comments on here. If you're watching the replay, let me know what you think. If you're watching me right now, I want to hear which of these phases are you in? Are you the launch person? Are you constantly launching things, or launching things, every 3-4 months? Are you the automated person? Do you have something that's just working in the background, that's automated, that's consistently bringing you money? Or are you open for business, where you're consistently selling, consistently making offers, and consistently creating new things? So I want to hear from you guys. Comment below with which one you are, or if you're all three. If you're all three, that would be amazing, because I really think that that's where you need to be. You need to have the combination of all three to have that steadiness and that consistency and the sustainability in your business. So again, Facebook is just being funny with me. I can't see the comments. So, but if you are on here and you can hear me, or you're on the replay, comment below. I want to know which one it is, and let's start a conversation around how you can shift maybe to the one that you want to have. Because I know, and I want to mention that launching isn't for everyone. Like, I think that, people glorify launches, right? Like, there was actually just a launch of, gosh, I don't even remember the guy's name, PLF, Jeff Walker. I'm not into him. Like, that just doesn't float my boat. But he just did a big launch of his products, right? And I think that launching is glorified, but launching literally is probably not for about 98% of people. It's stressful. It puts you on that feast and famine roller coaster. It costs money. It takes up a lot of time and energy. So I just want to let you guys know that if you're the type of person who just feels like, oh, I have to launch, or this is the only way to do it, I'm telling you right now, it's not. It is absolutely not the only way to do it. And it's not for most people. Like, you really have to have a lot of energy. You really have to have a great team. You really have to have money to invest in the launch. And you have to be a risk taker, right? Because if you're not, and you invest all this money and you invest all this time in a launch and it doesn't work, guess what? You're screwed, right? So that's why being open for business all the time and having something automated will back you up if that happens, right? So Chandra says she's open for business. Chandra kills it. Chandra is one of my mastermind clients, and she's just a freaking rock star. Like, she just makes shit happen. She makes it happen. So I would totally follow her and see what she's doing and see what she's posting, because like I said, she is killing it online. Just had a TEDx talk, got to just mix and mingle with some celebrities. Totally awesome. So anyway, enough about this. Like I said, I'm going to keep it short and sweet here. I don't even know. 17 minutes. Yes. Okay. So 17 minutes. If you're watching the replay, I want to know where you're at. If you're watching me right now, I want to know where you're at. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.